The fact is, if we need to use some weapons, it has to be weapons that Hollywood doesn't use.
Hmm.
I can't compete with Hollywood that see a
That's true.
trend and make it.
Yeah.
It's better to compete before
Yeah,
trying.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Trying to
noticing
find a new trend to create your own.
exactly. So let me give you some example of data. Okay, we have romantic comedies on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so searches that brings romantic comedies to be watched are the one you expect: love movie, romantic movie, rom-com movie, etc. The last 6 months, I started noticing some differences. And one of the main things that I saw was the reduction from 38 minutes to 17, 18 minutes on average view time. For you, you have a platform, you know that that's a hell of a change. It's not a small one on average.
No, it's huge.
It's huge.
Even if you could just increase it by a minute, it's a massive difference.
Okay, so I started looking into it. And I see that when views comes from romantic movie, love movie, average is that.
Hmm.
But there is a new set of search: LGBTQ movies, queer movies,
Hmm.
where people are not going anymore to certain genres, but they're moving to romantic comedies. But their average view time is shorter. So I call a friend and I said, "Can we have some LGBTQ romantic comedy?"
Hmm.
He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I have a feeling that there is a community that is looking for lighter content, but within, their their cultural,
Yeah, their community.
their community. Another search that we're going to speak about Day Off later, right? And Day Off was born by a data, where I saw people searching for 90s martial art action movie,
Hmm.
90s Steven Seagal movies. So if you come to me and you say, and that's super funny, Warner started to release full movies on YouTube recently. Yeah? There are movies with Tom Hanks that made 10,000 views.
Hmm.
Then I come up with a Steven Seagal movie, makes 5 million views. There are signal where the 90s action fight movie are coming back.
Yeah, people love the nostalgia.
Yeah. And another thing that is coming back that I tell you, 100%, you will see in the next year and a half. Do you remember those movie like Scary Movie?
Hmm.
For years, they made like every year five.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
been multiple. It's a whole franchise.
Look what will happen in the next year and a half. They will come back. I see a surge. And when I say surge,
Yeah,
on keywords related to funny horror, comedy horror, a surge.
yeah.
Like,
We're seeing a surge of even just like those franchises coming back too, which is like 28 Days Later coming out 20 years later. So it's like we're seeing that kind of resurgence of the nostalgia films coming back. But I see what you're saying as far as you're talking about actually comedy horror, like
comedy horror, like, let's say, scary movie.
Mhm.
You will see that they will come back.
Yeah, I mean things are always cyclical, but I see that trend coming too. I already see it happening, and if your data suggests it, then I know it's for sure going to happen.
But, well, there are a lot of elements and things that needs to happen, but still is a good starting point.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So take us to the next step. You're I don't I we're kind of a little over time, but I just want to I make sure we touch on this because if there's any filmmakers listening, I want to make sure they hear this. You're launching a new program.
Yeah.
There's a little AI into it, but not in the way that people, if they hear AI, and this is a touchy subject for filmmakers. When they hear AI, it's something that has a negative connotation at this
Totally.
point. You're utilizing AI in a different way to help them.
Yeah.
So what are you bringing up?
So I don't want to enter in the field of AI for movies. I leave this to the filmmakers.
Yeah.
If they want to use it, if it helps them, their decision. I'm not pro, I'm not against. It's their decision, But I think AI would help in cutting to zero the process for them to pitch a movie to me. So basically, we have our Insurgent platform, which is now it's closed only to filmmakers that works with us. We're going to open the next 3 months. Basically, filmmaker will be able to sign up to our platform, send a plot, and they will get an immediate feedback over the possibility for us to produce that movie. So AI will be used to study the plot, study our data, came back with a score system about the plot, the genre, and the international appeal. On top, they will receive suggested modifications, suggested titles, and why we suggest that. I mean, the AI that has been built based on our data, suggested posters, and based on the amount of information that they give, our answer will be, better because if you send me a plot, if you send me the 3 acts with all the information,
Yeah.
and
And you're going to present them with a budget as well.
yes, with a pre-approved budget.
Wow.
So AI is used for trying to solve something that filmmaker see as a problem, which is going around knocking at every door, and they may not accept. I'm not saying that my offer will be perfect,
Yeah.
but at least I give them a chance because there is something I want filmmaker to stop doing. It's begging.
Yeah.
It's It's
We
unacceptable.
want filmmakers making films.
Exactly, not begging for 40,000 grand.
Yeah.
It's especially today in this environment where we're becoming so much. We use so much content. We consume content in ways that never before. It should be a no-brainer to finance indie filmmaker, because remember, like 20 years ago, there were fillers. But you have fillers for TV and you had 6 TV per country. So how many fillers did you need? Now you need fillers. And people are not looking at that.
Yeah. It's
So,
smart. But I just love that you're giving the filmmaker an opportunity. It also then, I mean, filmmakers need to understand that that's not just the end all be all. Let's just say you put an information in and it says, okay, $25,000, that's what the budget is. Like, filmmakers need to understand that you don't just take that 25 and that's it. You
No.
could get creative in where are you shooting the film? Are there tax credits? Like, they can get really creative on extending that budget outside of the just, okay, this is the confines of here's my $25,000, that's it. Like, you could go shoot in Missouri and get a
They
massive
can-
tax credit instead of filming here in LA or filming somewhere else, right? And I hope that
I-
that's
I-
a conversation we're having in obviously California. Hopefully that California comes back and starts to incentivize filmmaking here again.
but let's see if they incentivize this kind of filmmaking.
Yeah,
Because if they only incentivize the 100 million, 200 million,
yeah,
that's completely useless. I'm telling this story in Italy to a lot of friends over there. I'm trying to do this, but I say, you're giving out $700 million. Okay? And most of the movies that are financed in this way, they do not get distributed. So I told them, you give out 700 million, make a $10 million funds. Out of 700 million, it's 1.5%.
yeah,
And you allow filmmakers to do a $50,000 movie.
yeah,
Not only you will help the industry to keep working much more than $100 million movie, because now you have 300, 400 movies. So the people in the industry can work. Of course, they will be paid less. I know that.
yeah.
But better not.
But it's better
work
to have something going on for 2 to 3 weeks versus
continuously than waiting for one deal to happen.
or maybe they're just like, hey, I know I have a project lined up in 3 months,
In the
but
meantime,
nothing right now. Maybe I go and try to find something else to work on. So,
yeah, and remember, I'm not only giving the budget, but they're also giving a back end of 50%.
yeah, you share the profits with
I share
with,
the profit.
yeah.
So I mean, we need to reinvent the system. It's not healthy today. Movies do not make money. That's everybody speaking about it. Nobody's saying it loud, like it's a mystery. But we gotta say it. Because the first way to solve a problem is admitting that there is one.
Yeah.
You know? And filmmakers, I can mention him, but he's one of my filmmakers. A movie that it's actually a movie too, and I cannot mention because he asked me to. It's reserved this news, but he made a first movie before meeting me. Nobody watched it, but maybe his cat fought in a remote, click play. but he said that. Then he came to me, and it was so boring. The movie, you have no idea. Beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Visually, you can see the talent, but he made this movie for himself.
Yeah.
Like his story, maybe he thought about it for 20 years. I don't know about it. So he came to me and he said, "What do we do? Oh yeah, let's make a thriller like this, like that."
Yeah.
And he went crazy. Very good. He made a good backhand. Then he did a second movie, went good. And I call him and I say, "How are you going to make a movie for me, another one or no?" He said, "No, Nick, because I'm discussing. I got the fund for my first $10 million movie." Nothing made me so proud, more proud, because now he said to me, "I would have told you, the fact that I did some movies that proved that made millions of views was an arm that I never had."
Yeah.
So now I went to investors, said, "I made this movie, made 50 million stream. I made this, made 30 million stream. It was dubbed in 4 languages," which we know what does that mean. But for investor, wow, 4 dubbing, incredible.
And that doesn't provide just a calling card of a film and how good of a filmmaker he is. It provided him the missing piece of what you just talked about beforehand is data.
Data.
He had data to provide to potential investors.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's such a great success story.
And that's,
now I really want to know who that is, and I'll find out eventually. But
you will.
That's incredible.
And by the way, I will tell you. So
off the record.
Off the record.
Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Momi2 Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Momi2 app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.